Hey crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and thanks for being here this afternoon with me. I am up in Shady Pines, and I had hoped because the last couple of weeks when I was here, my new sewing table, new sewing desk, all of that came in. Unfortunately, the folks that help me out and put things together and do all that kind of stuff, I have been super, super swamped. So they did not get to that. So I had to make another makeshift to get this live today. But it is what it is. So we'll make it work. We always seem to make it work, right? So welcome in. Hey, Russ, thanks for being here as always. I missed his so along today. His um, so crazy. And I ended up having to go to Home Depot and a bunch of things, but I hope you all were able to join Russ today for his first new adventure out. Hey, Sally, thanks for being here. There's Lawayne. Thanks for coming in, Lawayne. Hey, Dale. As always, thanks for being here. And Vera from Texas. Howdy from Texas. BBMK from down in the valley where it's nice and warm today. I am so excited. I think our high up here was 81, which is actually really cool because they've not had any humidity in that. And last night I went for a walk, I guess about 6 o'clock, and I was like, it's almost cool. And looked, and it was actually 80 degrees. So it's just funny how temperatures can mean and range differently depending on where you're at. Hey, Mary, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Oh, she says, I love the pick of your mazed quilt. I got it done. So, yesterday I actually knocked out the Dr. Seuss, Lord have mercy, um, the Grinch mazed quilt from Labor Day. So, I got that completely done. If you've not seen it, it's over on the Facebook page. I will try to get maybe a picture here next week. I just don't have room really to open it up in here, but I did get that one done. So it's another quilt top to go on Gracie whenever Gracie decides to work. Um, and then I got another one done called the Gold Metal pattern from Villa Rosa and was really excited about that. I had started that a couple of months ago up here and actually got that one knocked out. I think it came out really cute. It's very retro. It's got that 50s vibe with that 50s green, but that old fashioned Santa Claus that I grew up with. So I really, really liked that. Um, hey, Martha, thanks for being here. She's from Tucson. Look, she's just my neighbor down the street. I have to say the only place I've been in Tucson so far is I went to the Bubble, and I can't even think of what that place is called now, but it's run by the University of Arizona now, and it's a pod scientific experiment. I think it started back in the 80s, 90s. It's really, really interesting to go through. So we went down and toured and did that, and that is amazing to go through. Look at Lenny, she's over in New Mexico. So welcome for joining us today. She stays on the road. She's part of my quilt club, but I never get to see her, especially during the summer. She's always out and enjoying traveling and enjoying the summer across the states and across the country. But she'll be back here soon enough as the weather starts turning. Hey, Charlotte, thanks for being here. Patricia's in tonight. Look at that. We got a lot of people in the house. What's up? Candace is here tonight. Oh, look, Lorraine says, I got a cat in the hat and Grinch fabric that he won in an auction the other day. That is awesome. I need to start looking. Biosphere, there's what it is. It's called the Biosphere. Lord have mercy. My mind just went totally blank. And it's really a cool experiment. What's funny is after we toured the Biosphere, like a month later or a few weeks later, Hulu or Netflix actually released a documentary on the biosphere. So it was pretty interesting to listen to how they took people down there. I think there was 8 or 12. They locked them up for 2 years, and they had to survive on what was in the biosphere. And they had, they had a little jungle area for um, all kinds of science experiments and that. Russ says, "Bubble, like Biodome, the Pauly Shore movie." Yes, that's exactly what it was. So, but that was really cool. So, Tucson has so much to offer. It's funny, my niece, who I absolutely love, she's like a sister, like the sister I always wish I had. Um, Travels out here for work all the time, and travels to Tucson. So it's just funny. She makes it all the way out to Arizona, and then we still don't get to see each other very often. But Tucson has so much to offer in that. It's just such a cool town. I'm told. I'm thinking that I might try to make it down to Tucson for their quilt show. They have a quilt show in November, I think it is, and it might be fun just to pop down and see what their quilt show and that's like. It's only, I think, about 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes. For me, it's longer because I'm on the other side of Phoenix, but it's not like it's a ridiculous amount. My problem is every time I want to go somewhere or do anything, I have to rethink it all because I have a electric vehicle. So for me to go anywhere, I have to think about how far I can go on that with the electric vehicle, how long I can take, and where I can charge, and all that. So it was funny. Um, Russ asked me today where I was, what's going on, and one of the things I've realized in this house is that I need better lighting. So I had bought some lighting from Home Depot. So I ran over to Home Depot this morning, which means then I needed to, while I was out, go on and charge the vehicle. And so I'm over at the charger charging the vehicle. And of course, that's by Starbucks. I had to walk down and get Starbucks. And it ended up just turning out to be a thing. And I ended up going up from Starbucks because we have one of those old hometown groceries that actually has a real deli and that. And of course, I had to get donuts for breakfast. So, anyways, I ended up spending more time out and about, which is very unusual for me. Usually, I come to the park home and literally hibernate, just about never go anywhere. Have the groceries delivered and all that, and just kind of stay here and just quilting that and almost like a hermit. And I'm realizing that's probably not the healthiest and the best thing for me. But I'll tell you what, after dealing with people all week at work and some of the situations and things that I deal with, it's like, you know what? It's okay just to go hide for a weekend. So that is what I've been doing. So today, I don't know if you're part of the Facebook group, you will see that I had done a Villa Rosa table runner. And so I had cut out the same pieces to do the same table runner, but do it in a Christmas pattern. So that is what I am going to try to work and chat you all about today while we are together. Spent last night sitting here watching TV, trying to sort out all my fabrics, and hopefully all of these work and come together, but we'll see. You know how that can be at times. So, um, can be crazy. So, I hope all of you have had an amazing weekend and been busy. I will admit I have not been on the YouTube like I would have liked. I did um, catch a little bit of Sean yesterday. I did catch Danielle a little bit yesterday. Um, and I've been watching Stephanie's because she's been doing some interesting things. I know she just did I think an unboxing. I think it was that I saw. So I don't know. It's been just crazy trying to get things going. I did last night, and this is one of the advantages of living in Phoenix, is the Halloween cruise I'm going on opened up yesterday. And last night at midnight, we were able to log in and choose the dinings the dinners that we wanted and shows that we wanted for the cruise. And they only open so many pre-cruise, and then if you miss it, you have to wait and book it when you get on the ship. So, you know, what fun is that? When you can have it now versus waiting. So I'm in a chat group that was talking about it. So the cool thing about being in the West Coast, and it's a East Coast cruise going out of Miami, is midnight for them was 9 p.m. for me. So I did manage to get those booked last night, which was kind of cool. It's interesting. I have been loyal to Royal for many, many, many years. I've done probably about 14 cruises with them, and I've cruised with other folks. I've cruised with um, with a group. I've done a group tour. It's actually the first one that I went on, and then I've actually done solos, and then I've actually done them with a partner. But so I've cruised in many different ways, but it's always been on Royal. Interesting enough, this Halloween cruise that I want to go on is with another group. It's focused on some other things, and it's not a quilting cruise. But the cool thing is, it's on Virgin. So I have never been on Virgin. I am anxious to go on Virgin. They have, so there's no one 21 or younger than 21 on the cruise. So how awesome is that? So there'll be no children on the cruise. So I'm anxious for that. They don't have a main dining room, so you end up not having to do a captain's dinner and all that, which just always kind of frustrated me because I get people like formal dinners and that, but when I'm on vacation and that's not what I'm really looking for. So interesting enough, Virgin does not do that. Instead, they actually have smaller restaurants on their cruises, and then you schedule to go to which restaurant you want, which night, and that. They do have Red Night, which is interesting. So Red Night is when they is a big party, and everybody's supposed to wear red. So I have finally found the outfit that I want for that. So I ordered that yesterday. They have a pajama party one night, so I did order pajamas for that. And I also ordered my Halloween costume because it's a Halloween cruise. So there's going to be at least three big parties that I know of on the cruise. I'm also told, interesting enough, that Virgin does not have um, casinos. They don't gamble on their cruises, which I think is kind of interesting because I actually played bingo on on one of Royal's cruises and won a free 7-day cruise. So I probably won't be doing that on this cruise, but that's okay too. So I'm kind of anxious, a little apprehensive since I'll be going by myself for the first time. But it's about getting out there, meeting other folks, doing things, and um, I wanted to do something different. So normally I host a big Halloween party and have folks in and do all that. And this year I decided that I'm just going to give myself a break and do something a little bit different. So, hey, Jackie, thanks for being here. Melissa is here. Jen's here. Welcome in, Jen. And Lorraine says, I want to go on Virgin Scarlet Lady ship as I've seen videos of the red party they have. That looks fun. And I believe Scarlet Lady is the ship I'm going on. So we go out on, I think it's the 30th of October and come back on the 3rd of November. So I think that's going to be really cool. They've got some really cool shows. Interesting enough is everyone has told me that apparently all of Virgin ships have drag queen shows. They have drag queen bingo and all this stuff, which is kind of interesting to me. So yes, I booked 2 drag queen shows, and we'll probably play drag queen bingo because those folks just amaze me. The skills and talent that they bring is just, and it's usually they're just hilarious. I will say I have seen a few comedians on a few of the cruises, and most of them were so vulgar. Within the first 15 minutes, I ended up leaving the show, and I am anything but a prude. But I don't know, vulgarity to me is just not humorous. And so that never did it for me. So I tend to avoid those type of things. Oh, look, Nightbot's working. It says, remember, give me a thumbs up, please, please. Joyce is here. Hey, everyone. Martha says, it'll be fun. Relaxation is needed sometimes. I agree. Interesting enough, I did try to schedule a spa day because I ended up, because the way I booked the cruise, I ended up having like $300 sailor. They call all of their passengers sailors, and then depending on when you booked and which group and all that, you get sailor loot. I have like $300 in sailor loot, and I thought it would really, really be cool um, to kind of pamper myself one day. So I did one time on a cruise. I've had a couple of, I've had a massage on a cruise. That just doesn't work for me. I'm not a massage person, I guess. So I'm not interested in necessarily booking a massage, but I did have a facial and all of that on a cruise, and just really, really liked that. So, but I found out when I tried to book that last night that I can't book that um, um, until, man, my mind keeps going blank, until the day of embarkation. So the day that we leave. So that's fine. But I would like to get a manicure, pedicure, and um, facial. So we'll see how that works out for John. I'm only doing a couple of ports. We go out of Miami. We stop one day in Key West and have a day in Key West. We have a day in Bimini, which I think is really kind of like their beach in that. And there's one other port, I can't remember it now. Maybe it's the Bahamas. So it'll just be fun. It'll be nice to get out, relax, meet new people, not have to worry about what's going on, not have to worry about work getting a hold of me because I'll be out in the middle of the sea. And the only problem is I'll probably end up missing you guys. So I will probably do a pre recorded chat that day just because I doubt I'll be back in time. If I am, I would really, I would prefer to always do a live with you all on Sunday if at all possible. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, look, Russ. Oh, spoiled Russ. We're getting Manny and Petty Friday. My toes need it. I have never had I have never had either. So I have not had a manicure, pedicure. It's something I've thought about. I don't know. It just never have done it. So I saw that as part of the options. And knowing that I have the sailor loot that I'm going to have to spend anyways, I thought that might be just a good way of pampering myself a little bit. I ended up getting the facial on one of the Royal Cruises because it was one of those things where if you bought that package, you got like you got a facial, you got a massage, you got some, I don't know, it was like 150 bucks or something, and you got a bunch of stuff kind of like tossed in. So that's how I ended up getting my first facial. But I will say I understand why people like those and get spoiled. The problem is, I don't, to me, it's a treat and it's fun when you're on something like a cruise to do it. I don't know how often I would want to do it because I have a feeling it will cut into my quilting. And if it starts cutting into my quilting, that means it's going to cut into my fabric purchasing. And Lord knows we don't want to stop John from being able to buy more stuff. So that can't happen. Hey, Danelle, welcome in. Thanks for being here tonight. She's been busy. I've seen her all over YouTube this week. Everything just keeps popping up and popping up with her. So she is doing an amazing job growing her channel and creating lots of excitement around the things that she's working on. See who else. Katrina said, "One girls' week we go and get pedicures. If your feet are ticklish, watch out." Yeah, that worries me. We'll have to figure that out, I'm sure. Hey, Brian's here tonight. Thanks for joining, Brian. Loine says, "Stop saying facial. My dirty mind keeps going off." Oh my goodness, Luane, Luane, Luane. All right, so I am working on a Christmas quilt. It is fabrics that I picked, believe it or not, out of my stash again. So I just really kind of liked that Villa Rosa pattern. I don't remember the name of the pattern because I left the pattern at home, but I remembered it was simple enough to do. I remembered how to put it together. So that's what I'm hoping to knock out tonight. I won't be able to do the borders around it because I had not cut anything for the borders, but I think it's really going to turn out cute when I get it done. If you're part of the Facebook page, you will see that I did a similar one with a kit that I had purchased from Villa Rosa. So that is how I originally got this. I will tell you, I am trying to back off a little bit of Villa Rosa. I really like their patterns, but I do need to get into some other things, and I don't want to be just a Villa Rosa guy all the time. I say that, and coming up, I thought everything to work on my open gate quilts. Because you know me and Monique, I love usually everything Monique does for me, what she puts together. She put together a beautiful boo box for Halloween. Um, and then I realized I paid a lot more money for it because I stated how much it was and realized I was off $100. And somebody else goes, "Man, I wish I'd only paid that." And then when I went back and looked at the invoice, I realized I paid a lot of money for this box. So definitely have to think about how I'm spending and investing money. But I had brought um, stuff to work on. So this is the Halloween quilt from the Boo box, and I really, really like that. So I got the squares, I got all the pieces cut out, and then had planned on starting that. I needed one more piece of black to finish out, and realized I left the black fabric laying at home because this actually came with three projects. It came with what she called the Ring of Coffins. So I had decided, well, maybe I would work on this Ring of Coffins, and I thought that would really be cool. So I did bring all the fabrics for that, and I did have all of that ready to go, and then realized the template that I need is sitting in Phoenix. So that ended up not happening. She also gave us pillows that we can make and provided the panels and all that to make these pillows. I think they will be cute. I'm not as much a pillow person. I'm not sure if I'm going to make the pillows or what I'll end up doing. I think I may make tote bags out of them. Is one of the things they suggested. You could make totes or pillows. So I will probably make quick tote bags out of them and may just send those to um, somewhere for Halloween. But I really, really did want to start on this Halloween quilt, but I didn't get to. So we will try to see if I get to that next week. As always, it's just hard for me during the week right now. Work has been so super busy. I keep liking to think, oh my goodness, work is going to slow down. And yet it doesn't. So it is what it is. I will get there. I will get things done, but I just don't know if I'm going to get done anytime soon. 1228, Rhonda's here. Nice to see you, Rhonda. Thanks for jumping in tonight. Danielle says, John, you're awesome. Thank you. Actually, my email now, I've changed it, is john at guyscraft2.com. So my other email probably still works. I just don't check it as often, but john at guyscraft2 is my email. She wants to email about getting on my channel again. You need to come on my channel, girlfriend. We need to get that figured out. I want to get you on the channel, and I want to get Sean on the channel, and I just need to quit being lazy. I really need to put a channel schedule together because there's several of you that I would like to get on the channel, and I just haven't reached out to do it like I should. And one of the things I had hoped to do actually this weekend was work on my calendar, which wouldn't be a problem except I left both my calendars sitting at home in the home office, so I didn't have those with me. And yes, if you're one of those technology people, you'll say, Well, how would you leave that at home? Don't you use an electronic calendar? And no, I do not use an electronic calendar. I'm old enough that I still like my paper calendar. And I don't know why, because I use Outlook all day at work, schedule everything in Outlook, and that's how I live. And maybe that's why I just don't want my personal life to feel managed that way. So I still use pen and paper at home. And so that unfortunately is sitting back in Phoenix. So hopefully I'll be able to reach out in the next week or so. But it's been crazy. And I tell you what, the holidays are fast approaching. Somebody at work the other day said, "Have you got your Halloween stuff out?" And I was like, "Oh, no, don't talk to me about Halloween stuff. That means I have to go to the uh, I have to go to storage. I have to get the trees. I have to get the bins. I have to start." So I'm not sure what I'm doing for Halloween this year since I'm not actually hosting a party like I have for the last 3 years. That's going to be different. How much I choose to put up at home will probably be a little different just because I'm not going to be there for Halloween. But yet, I love Halloween. Halloween is one of the most fun times of the year, but I'm finding that I've joined a couple of new groups. I don't know if you all have ever heard of Meet Up, MEET Up, but I joined Meet Up the first time when I came to Phoenix and actually met a lot of folks that way. There's groups for anything that you can imagine. And what's funny is I've never looked to see if they have anything like quilting, sewing on there, but they have cycling and bicycles and hiking and walking groups and all of this. And I've joined several of those. I had let those go over the last few years, and now I'm starting to do those again. So I'm starting to get really busy, like with going to brunches and all that. So it's like, okay, now I feel like I'm out of the house so much that I'm not home to do some of the things that I want to do. I don't know. I stay very busy. Even my daughter the other day, she goes, "You're the busiest person I know." And I have um, multiple children. So she married um, into a ready made family. So she, at 28, inherited three children, um, along with, and then they ended up having two of their own, which you got to meet on the channel because we went to the beach together. So you all met them. Interesting enough, though, she's like, "But you're always so busy and you're everywhere and you're doing everything." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's always been my life. It's just funny. I don't know. I've always been a busy person." I think it was my mother that said that, we'll get rest when they put us in the grave. I don't know. I don't know if that just kind of has always stuck with me for some reason, but um, I don't. I just enjoy it. I do what I enjoy, right? I enjoy doing my YouTube. I enjoy listening to you all. I enjoy watching the chats and having you all part of my family and what's going on. And um, so we'll see. I do want to say, I feel like is this the first live since we've done Labor Day? Lord, I can't even remember. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. I love having you all here. Labor Day went over better than I actually expected. And so I would say look for something for our next holiday coming up. I really like the idea of being able to be together a little bit on the holidays and that. Definitely want to do some more drawings. I think the drawings worked out really nice. Um, Found some things the other day already that I was like, oh, next time I do a drawing, we want to make sure that we include that as part of the drawing. And so, just a lot of things like that that I want us to be able to do, have time together. I will tell you the one holiday, the one time I won't be doing a sew along would be New Year's Eve, and that's just because there's several groups out there that are doing those, and um, so I probably won't be, and I know I won't be doing one, especially this year, because I'll be down at Stitch in Heaven for their retreat for Halloween. So I would like if we end up doing one for the next holiday. I did like doing the Villa Rosa. I think the mazed quilt turned out really cute. It's funny, I belong to another quilting group on Facebook and posted how my Grinch quilt turned out. And like 4 people wrote me and go, I love the pattern. What is the pattern? And so I forgot to post what pattern it was. So I got to do that, post that for them. And again, drive some more people to Villa Rosa. Just crazy. At some point, Villa Rosa's got to call me, right? And go, hey, you've driven all this business to us. We want to do something for you. It would really be cool to give us a pattern. But would you all, for the next holiday, like to do something similar to what we did the last time? Would you like to pick a pattern and work on together? Was it nice using a pre-cut like a jelly roll? I know I want to make sure we give plenty of time. I think Sally finally got her patterns. Um, I know it seems to take a while sometimes, especially if they're mailing them and doing things at Villa Rosa. So I want to make sure that we allow time in that. But we're still in September, believe it or not. So we do have time to think and talk about what makes sense and how that looks. So if you've got thoughts or ideas, feel free to drop them in the chat. Feel free to drop me a note on Facebook or just send me an email at john at GuysCraft2, and I appreciate each and every one of those. So we'll figure out what the next holiday looks like and how we're going to do things. So let me get a couple of more of these strips together, and I will show you some of the fabrics that I picked for this. This is going to be an extremely colorful, loud table runner, which is nice for the holidays. It means my guest can spill whatever on it because it absolutely is not going to show, which is always a good thing too, right? Because I do have some messy guests sometimes. I'm like, how did you spill that? That's okay. When you have company, that is what it's about, right? I am hoping next Saturday to finish the quilt that is still sitting idle in Gracie and see if we can get that quilt top completed. And if so, you might actually get to see a completed quilt top um, on the live next Sunday. We'll see how she treats me on Saturday. And so if I can get that done, and it's just a panel. It's nothing else but a panel. It's a Christmas panel that I picked. I had bought them. I don't even remember where I bought them. May have bought them from 35th. I bought a lot of stuff at 35th. They weren't very expensive, but they were good size panels. I did nothing to it because I don't really care how it turns out. If it works out, I might send it to one of the grandkids or something. And if not, I'll take it to the Goodwill. There's somebody that will appreciate it. But I didn't want to have to worry about how it quilted and what it turned out like. If I did this all in the reds and the greens, I think it's got 2 more rows and then it'll start repeating. But I really liked this pattern. It cuts pretty quick and definitely sews up pretty quick. So as you can see, we're just about 35 minutes into this, and I've already got the strips sewn together, and now I'm already putting the quilt itself together. The only thing I will need to work on is think the border. I'll have to figure out what border I want to put on this. It'll probably be a solid border. But I think I had purposely waited because I wanted to see once I got these sewn together. What it was going to look like. One more. Wow. Quite a bit before it starts repeating. All right. Oh, Katrina says we could do something patriotic for um, Veterans Day. You know what? And that's a great idea. I had forgot about Veterans Day is really our next holiday, and I am actually off. That is a holiday for our company this year. So that is a great idea. Because seem to do a lot of that patriotic stuff for, the 4th of July and all of that in the summer, but really would be something cool. So, Katrina, that is a great idea. Thank you for sharing that idea. Oh, Martha says, what group are you in on the Facebook? If you're asking me, it's down in the information below. So it's a Guys Craft 2 link. And so it's just my Guys Craft 2 Facebook page. And it's a group page. Hey, Jean, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I always like when your little Eeyore pops up. Always makes me grin. My niece is huge into Eeyore, always has been. Look, Sally says, I'm still pressing, cutting for Mazed. I had to set up the ironing board to get the dang wrinkles out before cutting. And that's right, you're making yours bigger because you wanted it for a queen size bed. But I think you'll be really happy with it when you turn out. I have to say that of all the patterns I've done, that is probably one of the better Villa Rosa patterns that it's gone together for me. And again, a part of that is just I'm still so new to sewing and quilting and that. I'm still just getting to the point where I really do a 1/4 inch pretty well. I saw Rob Appel put out a comment the other day about how to do the perfect 1/4 inch. Haven't watched that video. I did save it. I tend to save a lot of videos like that for later. I put it in my save for later folder, and then before I fly somewhere, I end up downloading a bunch of those so I can watch them on the plane. I have to fly to Nashville, Tennessee in a few weeks for work because there's a conference, and work wanted me to go to the conference. So I'm going to the conference because work wanted me to go to the conference. But I'll be honest, I'm not excited. I'm more of a homebody. I really love Arizona. I love my state. I talk about going on the cruise and that, but at the end of the day, I'm not a big traveler anymore. It's just not important to me. All right, let me press this one open, and this is the first repeat. And let me show you the fabrics I picked and what this table runner is going to look like. Looks completely different. So if you are on the Facebook page, you can see the other one that I posted out there, and you can see how much different this one's turning out to be. And it's exactly the same pattern. It's just, Christmas fabrics. Um, BBMK says we just need to know the pattern in advance so she can get fabric. See, BBMK likes when we do things like this because then she's able to go back and go, look, John's making us do another sew along, and now I've got an excuse to go buy another pattern and buy more fabric. That's okay. Russ does the same thing to me, so we all are enablers. Trina says, I have 40 blocks done, decided to make it into 2 throws. Oh, that's right. I remember Katrina talking about she's doing 2 babies out of hers, toddler quilts or whatever. I think those will actually be really cute. Oh, Luane says a quilt of valor. I'll think about that. I'll have to look. I'll start looking for some patterns because it's still early enough, but yet, especially if we do patriotic, maybe we'll find a good clearance from the summer. Jen says, if you don't give the panel quilts to the grands, take it to a nursing home. Don't give it to Goodwill. Oh, I never thought about that. And we have, because I live in, well, 2 retirement communities, they both have several assisted living, retirement homes and that. And I think we even have a VA home back in the Phoenix area where I live. I think there's actually a VA home close, and I love giving to the VA. So that is a great idea. I appreciate you saying that because they would appreciate it, and they don't really care um, so much about did it turn out as perfect as I would have wanted it to. Joydy's here. Are we not excited? We're always excited to see Joydy. I didn't see her drop in. She just jumped in. Hey, Joyce. Um, Letty says you should take a costume on the cruise. I am. I am going to be Barney Rubble on this cruise. Oh, that's right. And Lenny says I can always. Our group has charity quilts, and they do take them down to I think the women's shelter and some things. So I can always donate through there. Sally says I've only made 3 blocks for the maze yet. Once you get going, though, you'll be surprised how quick all of a sudden the pattern like starts repeating in your mind. Um, the worst part for me is always cutting. Katrina says, my son said no twisting and turning the blocks for mazed. It messes with his eyes. Let me tell you, if you've seen the Grinch one that I did, it absolutely messes with your eyes. And it's funny because I did it up here. So I laid it out on the bed and then I went and did something and I came back and I ended up changing like 4 blocks. And then I thought, just leave it there. I'm not, because I wasn't ready to gather it up to start sewing. And I went back and I changed it again. And I was like, okay, if you just don't gather them up and start, you're just going to continue to change these blocks out. But it's just funny how if you leave it and come back to it, how you see where you've got too many reds together or too many this together. And it ended up after I got it together and laid it out to take a picture, I was like, well, I would have changed those 2 blocks too. And I thought, good thing it's already sewn because unlike Sean, I was not getting Jack out and taking that thing apart. It was not happening. Mm-mm. Jody says the Grinch quilt is adorable. I will have to say I could not be any happier. It just turned out so cute. So I am thrilled with the way that ended up. So look at this pattern. This is the table runner pattern for Villa Rosa. So now it just keeps repeating itself and it'll get 1 or 2 borders. But I really like these fabrics. I really like the way this is turning out. Um, like I said, definitely going to be a little loud and have some pop to it. But that's what it's about, right? So I like doing things that are a little bit different. I like things that are just kind of out there, and I'm just not that traditional guy, which is funny because for years my house had all cherry furniture. Um, was very traditional, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten very much into the MCM and so much love that stuff. Uh, So that tends to be where my mind races and goes nowadays. I think this is just a fun table runner to do. It's quick and easy, and just how you pick the fabrics. I don't remember the name. I'll have to look that up when I get back to Phoenix tomorrow night because I end up leaving from here bright and early on Monday morning and driving straight to the office, which is another bad thing because, like, I swear, every time I go out of town and the neighbors talk about me as it is because they're like, you're always getting packages. And so I feel bad to call and say, hey, can you go grab this package? Can you hide this one? Can you do this? So I was so excited because I knew like I had nothing due this week to come in because I come up here on Thursday after work. And I looked this morning and I have like 9 packages sitting on the porch. Unfortunately, we don't have porch pirates and that. I live back enough in the development. Um, and I guess they probably figure us old people don't spend enough money. But, like my Keurig coffee order came. Amazon has a subscription thing that I think it's one of my medicines or something, not medicines, but like vitamins. It came. I was like, okay, are you kidding me? I did not realize all this stuff was coming this week. So I can't wait to get home tomorrow and get all of that off the porch, get that put away. Sad thing is none of it's fabric. How cool would that be? I did decide I think I'm gonna bring a few more Villa Rosas up here because most of the Villa Rosa patterns cut and go together pretty quickly. And I thought, you know what? Those are good patterns. Those are good kits just to have here to work on because I'm actually down to the last one, which is already cut. And the thing is, I still want to do tote bags in that. I want to get these tote bags out, get these tote bags done, and then I watch Little Adam on Adam Sews, and I'm like, dude, you're just so adorable, and the bags that he makes are just amazing, especially with the Tula Pink. I have now bought enough Tula Pink that I just started a Tula Pink drawer, and so I keep all of the charm squares and everything else. And I can't afford to buy too much Tula Pink as far as um, yardage. I think most I've bought like a yard and a half, but I did end up putting it on the boards like I normally do. But I ended up putting it in the drawer. So all my Tula Pink stuff is kept together. So when I get to it, I did find a really cute pattern from Villa Rosa that was done apparently for Tula Pink. But now with the holidays on us, I feel like I just need to really focus on the holidays. But come the first of the year, I will be ready to get back into bright and fun fabrics. When you talk about bright and fun fabrics, you need to look at the maze quilt that Russ did with the kitty cats and that. And he is just finishing his, and it really turned out so cute. And it's just so bright and cheerful, and I think that's what I like. I don't want. I don't- We all can be dull and boring if we want to be, but I want somebody to go, "Wow, that's got a lot of color to it." So, I guess I'm Steve Martin at times, right? Another wild and crazy guy. Ah! Wayne says, "Me and Jack had a long date today. I totally goofed on my top that I sewed today." Right? I've been there, done that. Hope not to do it very often. I did buy all new um, um, seam rippers. I really do like this one. I'm finding that the what they consider the more arthritic or the bigger I like. Some of these little flat ones and that they just don't work for me. So I like these with a bigger handle in that. So that is what I'm tending to use. Jody says I do the same thing. I lay the quilts out and just change it over and over and over. And the worst thing is, we have such a nice several design walls down at the Quilt Club. So when you go down to PVP, you can really get your quilts out, get them up on the wall. The problem is there's usually um, several people there with several opinions, and they all love to tell you how that quilt should go. And it's like, oh no, no, I don't need more people changing. And they come over and start changing the blocks. It's like, no, stop. I think that's close enough to where I need it to be. I'm not that um, crazy, but I guess we all have our moments, and that's okay. What makes it fun, right? If you don't think you're an artist um, in the world of quilting, then you're crazy. Because I mean, it takes such a look, takes such an eye, and it just takes time, right? So we put a lot of money, expense, time, and talent getting done what we get done. And I do the trees. I want to do them this way this time. So I am changing a few things. I'm purposely making these trees go different directions each time I put them on. Um, just because I like to drive people nuts, and they'll say, "Oh my God, those trees aren't going in the right direction." But they are. Doesn't matter. Oh, Tina says make easy red, white, and blue tote bags and fill with shampoo, toothpaste, and that. That would be a cool thing to do, right? It's still Christmas time and that, but we could do those right at Veterans Day and then fill them up with little gifts and give to the veterans. That's an idea. Oh, Jen says Villa Rosa actually has at least a dozen patterns that are specific for um, Quilts of Valor. I will go out and take a look because I don't search their site very much. Typically, when I do, it's for clearance that they're doing with their kits. But that's when I tend to get the newer, some of the older patterns because since I'm a monthly subscriber, and I think this month's subscription is actually sitting at home in my mailbox, so I probably will have a unboxing if you all don't subscribe and you haven't watched anyone else do it. I will probably have mine up on Tuesday morning, maybe Wednesday morning, but I will have definitely be getting that done and posted. I am anxious to see what this month's are. I have not went out to look. I know others that have gotten theirs, but I haven't looked to see what the patterns were this month because I really just kind of like unboxing them, unveiling them with on my channel, and then I don't have to lie and go, "Hey, I really don't like that one," or "I did like that one." You really get the raw and impactful verdict from me. So if I open something and go, "Ooh," that's a real ooh. It's not that I'm making it up because of that. What a thought. That's the nice thing about not being endorsed and paying for and buying whatever you want. If you watch some of my older videos, you will see that in the past I subscribed to a lot of different channels and not channels, boxes, and I don't subscribe to so many anymore. Actually, I'm down to really just Monique at Open Gate Quilts, um, just because really like what she does. Her boxes, I think, are a great value. Some of the others that I was getting, I just felt like the quality wasn't there anymore, or what they were putting in there wasn't stuff that I wanted or resonated with me. And since it didn't resonate with me, um, I just didn't want it. So I just skipped it. And so I have put those boxes aside to save money so I can spend money on other things like more fabric. Because guess what? I bought a new bookshelf for the one craft room and ended up rearranging some stuff. Now I have like 4 empty shelves. So now I just have to find another big fabric sale so I can get more fabric, right? Because we always need more fabric. But like this entire table runner is all from Stashed. And so I am very proud that I have actually put this together with all my stashed fabrics for a change, um, which I just think means a lot. Uh-uh. That one got out of order. I don't know what happened there. So far, I don't think I've made a mistake. No. So far, I haven't um, got any out of order. So I am almost done, guys, putting this together, and I can press it off real quick, and you all can see what this is going to look like. I tried to ask my daughter. I talked to her last night while I was walking, and I'm like, what would you like? You know, what type of quilt would you like? What would you like dad to make you? What would be special? Blah, blah, blah. And she tells me, she goes, I already told you I would really like a bunch of tablecloths, not tablecloths, placemats. Well, of course you said placemats. That's why it didn't resonate with me because I have not done a placemat. But since my beautiful little girl wants placemats, I'm sure I will figure out something and start doing some placemats um, for the holidays and for her part of her Christmas this year. I really wanted to say, girlfriend, do you know how many quilt tops I have? You couldn't say you wanted a quilt top. No, you want a placemat, something very specific. But that's okay. That's why she's the little princess and always was the apple of daddy's eye. And I miss her. She's back in Virginia, so I only get to see her a couple of times a year. Um, and it's tough sometimes not having family close, and other times it's really nice not having family so close. So I come from a very strange family, so it is sometimes nice that all the crazies are back doing their thing wherever they do their thing, and I'm able to do mine. And I have my YouTube family that keeps me occupied, keeps me busy, and keeps me honest. And that's the most important thing. That's how we build new families and new relationships. This one I got to choose. That makes all the difference. All right, so the last strip is on. So let me scooch over here a little bit and get this pressed out. You all can see what a nice job that I did on this. Oh, where'd my mouse go? I see there's new comments, but I can't see them. Dale says, John has me on the Villa Rosa bandwagon. So far, so good. It's, for they just go together so quick and easy. And um, I don't know. And I did find on the app the other day, they've got a place now where you can sort patterns by fat quarters, by charm packs, that kind of stuff. So that makes it even more appealing now because now you can go right out and look and see, different areas in that. Got this one fabric and it's got like glitter in it and it does not want to press. It's probably because I have the iron too hot, but it's not sticking to the bottom. So I don't know. Katrina says placemats won't take long to knock out. Yeah, to me, it's just about figuring them out. The worst thing is if I can birth them right versus having to bind them, that might make it a little bit more appealing to me. Um, Jen says they can be fun and versatile. Oh, Brian wants to make quilted stockings for the fireplace. How cool is that? I thought about that. It won't happen this year, but I did think about that just because now that I've got the new embroidery machine, I'd like to get that thing working more. So look how cool this. I think that's really cool. So I think that'll make a really pretty um, table runner. It's got a lot of different color in it. I love this black because it says December 25th on it with presents and that. So I think that's cool. So I will now all I've got to do, I think I am going to put a border on it. I just have to figure out what border I want on it. And I may almost go with like a black border around it and then do, I don't know. I have to get it home and see. I know I've got something and then I'll figure out what I want to do for the backing and that. But that'll be nice to get that knocked out. And look, now I leave the park home this weekend with one quilt top, two quilt tops, and a table runner. So it has been a productive and busy weekend up in Shady Pines at the park home. So, guys, I so appreciate you being here. That just means so much to me. I love that I get to spend this hour or so with each of you. I hope each of you have an amazing Monday kicking off this week. Thanks for being part of the channel. Please hit that thumbs up as always. And until next time, happy crafting.